Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. My name is Eric D. Johnson, also on my BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff, it's in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, May the 19th, 2019. The time 1:48 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my supporters for your continued encouragement. I'm continuing to keep myself employed right here in this Memphis tri-state area. I'm continuing to further my education in Monroe College Online. I'm pursuing my social media study business administration concentration mark. At this present time, I took a break from going to school, but in the very near future, I will be going back to Monroe College Online. I'm going to continue to pursue my social, studying business administration concentration mark. This year, January 2019, I enrolled at Health Tech Institute of Memphis. It's right here in this Memphis tri-state area, in the medical assistant program. And the reason why I did that, it's a 10-month program from January to 9-month program from January to October of this year. I graduated with my diploma and with the certification. Because see, back in 2009, 2010, I was a student at Remington College, right here in the Memphis tri-state area, and I was enrolled in the medical business coding program. And I graduated with a diploma, but I didn't graduate with the certification. So without the certification, I couldn't be employed in the healthcare field. So I still got to pay the student loan back, but I'm not employed in the healthcare field. So like I said, this year, January of 2019, I enrolled at Health Tech Institute of Memphis, right here in the Memphis tri-state area, in the medical assistant program. And like I said, it's a 9-month program, and I graduated with a diploma as well as with the certification. That way I can be employed in the healthcare field, and I had a certification. I'll be able to pay my student loans back, and then I'll be able to go back to Monroe College Online and earn my social degrees in business administration concentration mark. Now what I'm gonna do also, excuse me, this the United Nations and everything, endangered species day. So we want to make sure we don't forget the endangered species, and thank the United Nations for all that they do. And they do a lot, and to make things right. All these wannabe devil worshippers, and excuse me. And but we thank the United Nations. We thank the United Nations for all the right that they do. And I'm gonna do my Instagram. And I know it's raining today. And every time it rains, it kind of affect my Wi-Fi. But irregardless, I'm still doing my video, and we're gonna continue to work toward getting in that courtroom, because all these wannabe devil worshippers, and they think they can get in the way, with the executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branches of government. Now, just like being in a courtroom, you have a judge, you have a public defender, and a prosecuting attorney. So, a lot of people, excuse me. Now, the international court, as you know, they have a public defender and a prosecuting attorney, and they have a judge. And so, when we get ready, start bringing people to court, and start putting them in custody and bringing them to court and things in there for persecution, for religious persecution, all around the world. All these so-called preachers and all this gospel music and all this stuff, and taking words out the Bible and all this, you're gonna be punished. You're not getting away with it. There's only one church. There's only one church. There's only one church that our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, established. One church, only one. So let's go to Instagram. Excuse me. Hello, everybody. My name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis, in the county sheriff. It's in the state of Tennessee. The day and date is early Sunday morning, May the 19th, 2019. The time 1:55 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support people, team, encouragement, and support. Anti-gang. Anti-gang. Now these are just a few of the excuse me. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logos. First, always give thanks to God. Always thank God for all the blessings, the guidance that He provides us all with. All of us. God provides each and every one of us with His blessings and His guidance. So thank God each and every day. Put God first. Thank God each and every day of your life for blessing you and for guiding you. That's the most important thing. Always first. Thank God. Now, I want to thank the United Nations. As you know, Endangered Species Day. So we want to always thank the United Nations for all the right that the United Nations does, and appreciate all the right that the United Nations does for all of us. Now, I'm going to continue to complain. I'm going to continue to speak out. People saying they're a gang. People saying they're a mob. Then put stir on the end. Merriam-Webster Stir New International Dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary gives you the complete and total definition meaning of the word gang and mob and stir. And people saying they're a boss, they're a goon, they're a thug, they're a crook, they're a hoodlum, they're a mac, they're a player. They're a pimp, they're a whore, they're a hustler, they're a nigga, feel nigga, house nigga. Whatever, it's all street slang. And people all over communicate, use language. Now, examples of street slang. like tic-tac-toe, hopscotch. There's nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. Sure. Now, in music, for example, street slang, hip and hop, rock and roll, swing, groove, jazz, blues, doo-wop, bebop, funk. I think I left funk out. Funk music, punk rock and all that, But it's street slang. It's street slang. Ain't nothing official right about no street slang. Let's go to a quick reference. Wikipedia. Let's look up money, currency exchange. People all over the earth use money, currency exchange. They make up street slang for money, currency exchange. Now here in the United States of America, examples of street slang for money, currency exchange, bucks, rack, stacks, bands, bread, dough, scratch, loot, moolah, Benjamin's dead presidents. It's nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. Now, take for instance, I graduated high school with a high school diploma, and I do have some years of college. I haven't earned my associate degree from Monroe College online as of yet. I took a break, but I do intend to go back to Monroe College online because I'm having to pay them student loans back, so I got to earn my associate degree. I do intend to go back to Monroe College online and earn my associate degree in business administration, cost rate market. But some people didn't graduate high school, they got a GED. Then you had other people who just didn't go that far to school, period. For whatever reason, they didn't go that far to school. But then you don't know reading, you don't know writing, you don't know math. You don't know science, technology, you don't know social studies. You don't know social studies. And then you don't know vocational technical training. You don't know. Now, on-job training, but you ain't go that far in school for whatever reason. Then you have those people who did go further in school. They graduated high school, earned a high school diploma. They have a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, the sorority and the fraternity. Yeah. And pay attention to the dates because history is important. Harvard University is the oldest institution of higher learning in the United States, founded March 13, 1693, Cambridge, Massachusetts. So that's 39 years from 1600. So you got to go back to the 1500s or 1400s, early history, for you to really get the grasp of before the 13 colonies. The Native Americans, first Americans. See, those pirates came over. It wasn't just what we've been taught, the Europeans came over. But it was them pirates that came over who were doing all this transporting the slaves and, robbing the ships and things of that nature. But transporting those slaves, the East African, West African slave trade, it was those pirates. They came over too. The devil worshippers. William and Mary College, Williamsburg, Virginia, founded February the 8th, 1693, is the second oldest institution of higher learning in the United States of America. Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded December the 5th, 1776. 1776, that's when the United States of America declared independence from the United Kingdom. The College of William and Mary is recognized as the first Greek letter student society in North America. Alpha Delta Pi, first sorority, founded in 1851, Wesleyan College, Macon, Georgia. The first organization to adopt the word sorority was Gamma Phi Beta, established on November 11, 1874 at Syracuse University, Syracuse, New York. And then you had the first women's fraternity, founded at DuPont College, 18-something. But see, the basis of the sorority and the fraternity is them old world secret societies, such as, for example, the Eastern Star of the Freemasons. They talk about Euclid, the mathematician, lived in Alexandria, Egypt, 1390 1425, mentioned in the Hollowell manuscript, the Regis poem, and also in that Cook manuscript. Then you also had that Dowling manuscript. Now this is just a few examples of them old world secret society. For example, the Scottish Rite, the Opus Dei, Skull and Bone, Rosicrucian, the Sons of Liberty, Thug Society, Private Scion, Ordo Templi Orientis, Knights of the Golden Eagle, the Woodmen, the Ancient Arab Order, the Nose of the Mystic Shrine, the Improved Order of Women, P.O. Sisterhood, the Eastern Star, Freemason, the Elks, and the Moose, the Lower Order of Moose, the Bilderberg Group, the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of Pythias, Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, the Forest Society, Hermetic Order, the Golden Dawn, the Mystic Order of the Veil, Prophets of the Enchanted Realm, United Order of the Golden Cross, United Ancient Order of Druid, National Grain, Ancient Order of Hermannans, and just a few. The Spanish Garduna, the Carbonari, the Black Hand. When you say mafia, that's Afro-Asiatic. You say Cosa Nostra, that's Latin. The Triad, the Yakuza, the Osirical. It's just a few. It's some more. There's some more. So like I said, it's just a few, but there's some more. And so like I said, the sorority and the fraternity. Don't let that sorority and fraternity mislead you. Now, excuse me. The sorority and the fraternity, they commit crimes on and off the campus. The college and university campus. Now, they recruit these, all that initiation stuff, all that initiation ritual stuff. See, all that stuff comes from them old world secret societies. From the old world secret society, the initiation. That was, from the old world secret society, because that's the basis of the sorority and fraternity. It's them old world secret societies. See, them old world secret society. See, they call themselves some wannabe devil worship. Some wannabe devil worship. That's what they are. Some wannabe devil worship. And see, they be listening to them ancient people who the devil had deceived. For example, the Perizzites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Jebusites, the Girgasites, the Hittites, the Hittites, the Kazizites and the Hittites, the Philistines, and the Midianites, the Moabites. See, all these people, it's some more people that we can't name, but see, that's who these people were listening to. Them old world secret society, that's who they were listening to. Just like when you read your Bible. And for example, when Joseph was living in Egypt, it was one Pharaoh. But when that Pharaoh died, another Pharaoh came on. And that Pharaoh, he wasn't understanding about the children of Israel. But see, it was a devil worship. See, all that stuff, and you see when you read your Bible, and all this, that devil worship stuff, them graven images. See, that was the old world secret society, and see, that was the sorority and fraternity, their initiation. All that initiation rituals. It's devil worship. some wannabe devil worshipers. There's no such thing as worshiping the devil. God already told you there's no such thing as worshiping the devil. The devil being punished and his angels being punished by God. There's no such thing as worshiping the devil. Never has been and never will be. Never have. You being deceived. You deceived. You see, see the sorority and fraternity. They use and abuse tobacco products. You know, like chewing tobacco, cigarettes, cigars. They put drugs in the cigarettes and cigars. They indulge in gambling and games of chance. They use the sorority. They use and abuse alcohol and drugs. They indulge in immoral activities. They lie. They cheat. They steal. You know what I'm saying? They extortion, bribery, assault, rape, murder, burglary. You go through the whole penal code. That's the sorority fraternity. Just to sum it all up. Any and every crime that the United States of America consider to be a crime, including the United States, whatever you consider to be a crime, that's the sorority fraternity. They indulge in sexual deviance and depravity. Look, don't let the sorority and fraternity deceive. Don't be misled by the sorority. I know they try to influence the general public by being on a college and university campus, as if that means they trying to do what's right. They cheated their way through school. They ACT and their SAT. They cheated. That's what they've been saying. That's what they've been saying about a lot of people in the past. They cheated their way through school. They cheated. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. Look, don't join the sorority. Don't join the sorority fraternity. Get out of the sorority fraternity. Discourage others from having any involvement with the sorority fraternity. Expose the sorority fraternity. Renounce the sorority fraternity, the old world secret society. Renounce. Denounce the old world secret society concept, the sorority fraternity concept. Denounce it. The sorority fraternity. They they work for these businesses. They work for these companies. They work for these corporations. They use and they misuse the background check. That's what the sorority fraternity do. They use the background check and they misuse the background check. They commit crimes against humanity, atrocities. They violate human rights and civil rights, inhumanity, genocide, ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment. They pollute the air, ground, and water, as well as noise pollution. They destroy the environment. They destroy nature. They destroy wildlife. Just because the sorority fraternity is on a college and university campus, don't be misled. Don't be misled like they trying to do what no. They're not trying to do what's right. Now, this is the International Bill of Human Rights. And this is the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. And this is the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. this is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. And this is the world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. And this is the International Federation for Human Rights. And this is the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. And this is Fauna and Flora International, was the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. And this is the world's oldest global environmental organization, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, also the World Wildlife Fund. And see, just like those organizations, there's some more organizations. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Global Rights Frontline Defender, Human Rights Without Frontier, International Center for Human Rights. And this is the Conservation International Wildlife Conservation Society, Conservation Fund, the League of Conservation Board, the Earthwatch Institute for Service, the Association of Earth Justice, the Conservation Volunteer. This is the Wildlife Conservation Network, Endangered Wildlife Trust and Biodiversity and Nature Conservancy Association of Rare Species Conservation Center, Wildlife Research and Conservation Trust, the Rainforest Trust, the International Rainforest Conservation Organization, Rainforest Alliance, the Rainforest Action Network. And also Biodiversity International, Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Nature, Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy, Wildlife Conservation Society, Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, the Oceanic Preservation Society, the Oceanic Society, Global Ocean Commission, the International Marine Life Alliance. You see, there are many more organizations such as the one we just mentioned. And they tried to stop all the crimes that the sorority and the fraternity, the old world secret societies, that's the basis of the sorority and the fraternity, that they be committing. They work for these businesses, they work for these companies, they work for these corporations. Excuse me. Just like we've been continuing talking about the gang, the criminal street gang, criminal street organization, organized crime, the mob, all that. Well, see, they commit crimes against humanity, atrocities, they violate human rights, the civil rights, inhumanity, the genocide, ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment, the pollution of the air, ground, and water, the noise pollution, the destruction of the environment, the destruction of nature, the destruction of the wildlife. See, don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. We've been talking about the criminal street organization, the criminal street gang. There's no such thing, no gang mob on the East Coast. There's no such thing. See, when you pay attention to the dates, The oldest institution of higher learning, Harvard University, 1639. 1639. 39 years from 1600. 39 years from 1600. The first American, Native Americans. See, the 13 colonies. Before the 13 colonies. See, you don't forget about those pirates. That's the reason why people be saying all this boss and goon and thug and crook and hoodlum and mac and player and hustler and all that pimp and whore. And talking about nigger and all that. See, all that stuff come from all that criminal street gang, criminal street organization, organized crime, the wannabe devil worship. That's where all that came from. It's not right. That's the reason why the city of Chicago, Illinois, being used by the same criminals. There's no such thing, no folk gang, no my people gang. There's no such thing. The city of Los Angeles, the same thing, being used by them same criminals. There's no such thing, no blood gang, no such thing, no crip gang, no such thing, no stone gang, no such thing, no riding around on motorcycles, ain't no motorcycle gangs, no such thing. There's no such thing. Just lying and being lied to, and then you lie. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. You see, Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul. There never was no apostle. Never was, never has been, never will be. The Catholic Church be lying. That's the reason why we continue to study the first century. There's no such thing as Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, being no apostle, only 12 apostles. Only 12. Only 12 apostles. And Paul, he wasn't one of them. He's the devil. He's a liar. He's a murderer. He's the devil. The Catholic Church and all their particular churches, the Latin Rite, the Alexandrian Rite, the Armenian Rite, the Byzantine Rite, the East Syrian Rite, the West Syrian Rite. It's organized crime to want to be devil worship. Now the Protestant Reformation movement, 95 Thesis churches, same thing. That's the Catholic Church. That's the Catholic Church. And organized crime and some wannabe devil worship. The major branches, minor branches. Then you have the interdenominational movement. Then you have other developments. And then you have related movements. And then you have the American Restoration movement, Stone Campbell movement. Churches of Christ, unaffiliated Christian Church, Church of Christ, Congregated Christian Church, Disciples of Christ. There's no such thing. See, they talking about they trying to go back to the first century, which don't make no sense, because the church that Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the Son of God, established, the church never left. You started trying to be a devil worship. See, when you stop listening to Jesus, then 10 years later you decide you want to go back. You repent. But see, the church never went nowhere. Jesus never went nowhere. You see, you just decided on your own not to stop listening to Jesus. See, that's the lie that the American Restoration movement, Stone Campbell movement be telling. You be lying. Saint Ignatius of Antioch wrote several letters. One of the letters he wrote to the Smyrnaeans. In that letter that Saint Ignatius of Antioch wrote to the Smyrnaeans, he put the phrase Catholic Church. There's no such thing. See, that's the occult. That's the occult. And the occult is some wannabe devil worship. Hermetism, Gnosticism, the Western esotericism, exotericism, the Kabbalah. See, you don't get away with that stuff, man. All that stuff is just some wannabe. It's no such thing, no Church of Christ. No such thing. It's the Catholic Church. And as you know, Saint Ignatius of Antioch, after he wrote that letter to the Smyrnaeans with the phrase Catholic Church, he was in front of 50,000 plus fans in Rome. Saint Ignatius of Antioch was eaten alive by one or more lions. and also these man-made religious organizations. They be using those epistles that Saul from Tarsus he wrote. He wrote those epistles, and in those epistles, he called himself an apostle. He's not no apostle. He was lying. People like David Koresh and Jim Jones, for example. Not to say they're the only one, but just people that have made the news. For example, they not the only ones. What's his name? L. Ron Hubbard, for example. Scientology. It's a lie. The Mormons, the Book of Mormons. The Zoroastrians. Zoroaster wrote a book, and then Islam, Prophet Muhammad, the Sunni Muslim, and Prophet Ali, the Shiite Muslim, the Baha'i, they had a prophet, and then the Sikhs, they had a prophet too, and he wrote a book. See, and then you have all these other these man-made groups, like the Moorish Science Temple, the Nation of Islam, the 5% Nation, the American Muslim Society, what's his name? Khalid Muhammad, he passed away, but he started that new Black Panther Party. And all these various Black Hebrew Israelite groups, for example, Ben Ami over there in Israel right now. And we're gonna have to get the K9 unit, and we have to come. I know he's going on the run. I already know the Black Hebrew Israelites, just like the Rastafarians. I know they're gonna go on the run. But the Black Hebrew Israelites, I know they're gonna go on the run. Some of the people in Chicago already sent word back. I know that the Black Hebrew Israelites gonna go on the run. And being army, and then we're gonna have to go to the Humane Society, get some puppies and train them, and for the police department. And we're gonna start using the cats too, feline unit, and Rastafarians, and then some of the Pan Africanists. Gonna have to come after them. Oh yeah, I just anticipate people going on the run. See, I know. It's one thing to have an individual, you won't go out. But when you have groups of people like the Southern Baptist Convention and the National Baptist Convention, and when you're wrong, and you're not right about nothing. I'm talking about you're not right about nothing, absolutely nothing. Like the street gang, you ain't right about nothing. I mean, and then the street, they don't just go on run. They got the nerve to get into a shootout with the police. Now look, you ain't gonna be shooting at my little puppets. Now I'm telling you, now you're not gonna be just talking about going on a run, jumping out the car, and trying to be aggressive with the dogs. And then I had the nerve to pull out a knife or a gun and all that. Then I got some more dogs that you ain't know about in the other car for backup. And see, when you want to get aggressive and want to be violent, see, I'm gonna have them other dogs on standby to bag up the K9 unit. Cause see, you dudes, y'all, you get ridiculous. So I'm gonna have to have some bag up. I'm gonna have to have some dogs to bag up the other dogs. Just like the police have bag up. The K9 unit gonna have some bag up. You want to get aggressive and want to be violent with the K9 unit. Well, the K9 unit gonna have some bag up. And I guarantee you won't be violent and want to do that no more. But what time? Let me go ahead and wrap this on up. All right, here we go. One of the verses that the man-made religious organization do, Romans chapter 16, verse 16, salute one another with the holy kiss, the church with the suffix ES of Christ salute you. Now, and This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 4. So that we ourselves glory in you in the church with the subject is the God of your patient favor, all your persecuting tribulation, that ye endure. Now this is a list of occult terms. Now this is a list of occult symbols. Now this is world religions and occult symbols. And these are occult symbols. like I said, don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. Now, now these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you go to make anti-gang logo. Now I'm gonna get ready to end it in today's video. Now this weekend I had to work, so after I do today's video, I'm gonna come back tomorrow and do another video because I had to work. But I did my video tonight, this morning. But like I said, I won't be able to come back and do another video because I got to work. But we're gonna stay with it. We're gonna continue to get ourselves ready for this is serious. This is serious. To get ready to get into that international court. This is serious. This ain't no play. PC, other people trying to pretend. See, I always remember that the reason why I'm not really just pushing the issue is just like we've been talking about. See, a lot of people just been letting people get away, and all these years been going on with the Lutheran Church, all this stuff about the Catholic Church, and the Protestants, the Lutherans, and the Calvinists, the Church of England, the Baptists and the Methodists. They ain't right about nothing. They ain't right about the Jehovah's Witness. You ain't right about nothing, man. Now, if you want to go on a run, go ahead and go on a run. I'll catch up with you. Me and the puppies, we'll catch up with you. We'll catch up with you eventually. You can rub some motor oil on your body and keep the dogs from being there to pick up your scent. I know all about that stuff, man. There ain't nothing new. Whatever you try to put gunpowder, we'll catch up with you eventually. If it rains, well, I'll pick your scent up, let it rain, and I'll pick your scent back up. You ain't that smart. But anyway, look, see, a lot of people, they think they can call their attorney, they can get out of they can get away with it. And so, they got all these people in the executive branch, legislative branch, judicial branch. They in the same sorority and same fraternity, and all that kind of stuff. They've been members of the same church, and if I made a mistake and all that, I ain't got. Well, look, man, you committed a crime. Saying I'm sorry, that's one thing. You ain't mean it, but still, it's a crime. It's a crime. You're gonna have to be held accountable. You're gonna have to be held responsible for the crimes that you commit. Now, you can be in the courtroom. You can tell the judge. You can tell the jury. And you can throw yourself on the mercy of the court. You can say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I know I was wrong. You committed a crime. You committed a crime. You're going to be held accountable. You're going to be held responsible for the crimes you committed. There's no such thing. It's no Church of Christ. There's no such thing. Never has been, never will be. And being honest with you, there's no such thing, no Jew. In Judaism, there's no such thing. They made it up. There's no such thing as being a Christian. It's a lie. It was the same people that were talking about being a Jew and a Jew. Them the same people talking about being a Christian. See, you don't go behind Apostle Peter back. You don't go behind Jesus Christ back. You don't go behind God back. See, that's the lie that the devil has deceived so many people on this earth with all this lying. So like I said, I'm not going to be able to come back and do my video because I got to work. But I'm finna do my Periscope video after I do end my Instagram. And all those who are watching, I always have my YouTube channel recording. And so I'm going to go ahead and end my Instagram and start doing my Periscope. So take care of yourself. Wish each and every one your very best, and always put God first. God come first. God come first. Now I'm gonna do my this weekend. I'm gonna do my Periscope. Like I said, I won't be able to come back tomorrow and do my video, but I'm gonna do my Periscope now. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county seat in the state of Tennessee. Today date is early Sunday morning, May the 19th, 2019. The time 2:46 a.m. First, say thank you to all my fans, my support for your team, encouragement support. Anti-gang, anti-gang. Now, these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logo. Now, these words, remember these words: coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, psychological abuse. Now, I just ended my Instagram video. I just ended my Instagram, and so this weekend I'm gonna do my Periscope video, because I got to work this weekend. No, last weekend was Mother's Day, and so I had the whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday off. But this weekend I got to work, so I was able to do one video today, and the United Nations. I want to thank the United Nations for all they do to try to make this world a place where all of us can, where we all live and not kill each other by being some wannabe devil worshippers. And so, endangered species, there shouldn't be no endangered species, but they wannabe devil worshippers. They want to do human and animal sacrifices, and so the poachers, some wannabe devil worshippers. That's where all that stuff come from. All these poachers, some wannabe devil worshippers. And so I'm doing my video. I got my YouTube channel recording. Excuse me. And so I'm gonna continue to complain. I'm gonna continue to speak out. People saying they're a gang. People say they're a mob. Then they put the word stir on the end. Merriam-Webster's Third New International Dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary. It gives you the complete and total definition and meaning of the word gang, mob, stir. Then you had to go around talking about you're a boss and you're a goon, you're a thug, you're a crook and a hoodlum, and you're a bank and a player, and you're a pimp and a whore, and you're a hustler, and you're a nigga and a field nigga, house nigga. Well, street slang. Street slang. People all over the communicate and use language. There's nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. Now, examples of some street slang are tic-tac-toe, hop and scotch, music, hip and hop, rock and roll, swing, groove, jazz, blues, doo-wop, bebop, and funk, punk rock, and all that kind of stuff. It's street slang. Nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. We can go to the quick reference, Wikipedia. We can look up money. We can look up currency. We can look up exchange. People all over the world use money, use currency. You're saying they make up street slang for money, currency, exchange. Now, here in the United States of America, examples of street slang for money, currency, exchange: bucks, rack, stack, band, bread, dough, scrap, loop, moodle, Benjamin, dead president. Street slang. Nothing right. It's nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. And so, let's just say that, I graduated high school, and I do have some years of college, and I haven't earned my associate degree yet, but I do intend to go back to Monroe College online and earn my associate degree in business administration for the constrained market. I got to pay them student loan back, so I got to finish. I just took a break. But some people, they didn't graduate high school, but they got a GED. Then you had those people who just didn't go that far in school, and you don't know reading, you don't know writing, you don't know math, you don't know science, you don't know technology, you don't know social studies, and you don't know vocational technical training, on the job training. But then, you had those other people that did go further in school. They graduated high school. They took the ACT, SAT. They earned a bachelor degree, PhD, the sorority and fraternity. Now pay attention to the dates. Pay attention to the date time. Before the 13th colony. It's important. It's important. Harvard University is the oldest institute of higher learning in the United States, founded March 13, 1639, Cambridge, Massachusetts. 1639, that's 39 years before 1600. The 13 colonies, the history of the first Americans and the Native Americans. And then you had the settlers. Even before the settlers, you had explorers came over from Europe, the explorers. But then, the pirates, the East African, West African slave trade. See, it was the pirates that came over. See, the criminals. That's where all that doggone gang and mob come from. That's where all that putting stir on the end. That's why all that boss and goon and thug and crook and hoodlum, all that mac and player, all that pimping, whore and hustling and nigger, that's where all that came from. Came from them pirates. See? And see a lot of settlers later on being influenced by the pirates. But see, you have to remember, over there in Turkey, what they call Turkey today, it used to be Constantinople and the Byzantine Empire and all that, history. They're part of the world where modern day Turkey is today. See, that's where a lot of them pirates were. Remember Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul. That's where he was from. that part of the world. He was from Tarsus, and Tarsus is in Cilicia. See, that's where all that pirates and the slaves and all that stuff. The East African, West African slave trade. See, it's important to pay attention. William and Mary College, Williamsburg, Virginia, founded February 8, 1693. Second oldest institution of higher learning. Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded December the 5th, 1776. The College of William and Mary is recognized as the first Greek letter student society in North America. Alpha Delta Pi, first sorority, founded in 1851, Wesleyan College, Macon, Georgia. And the first organization to adopt the word sorority was Gamma Phi Beta, established on November 11, 1874 at Syracuse University, Syracuse, New York. And then you had the first women's fraternity in DuPont College, 18 something. But the basis of the sorority and the fraternity, the old world secret societies. For example, the Eastern Star, the Freemasons. They talk about Euclid, the mathematician, lived in Alexandria, Egypt, 1390-1425, mentioned in the Hollowell manuscript of Regis' poem, the Cook manuscript. This is the Dowling and also the Dowling manuscript. Now, examples of them old world secret societies like the Scottish Rite, the Opus Dei, Skull and Bone, Rosicrucian, the Sons of Liberty, the Thug Society, the Private Scion, the Order of Templar Oriental, the Knights of the Golden Eagle, the Women, the Ancient Arab Order of Nobles of the Mystery Shrine, the Improved Order of Redmond, the P.O. Sisterhood, the Eastern Star, the Freemasons, the Elks, the Loyal Order of Moose, the Bilderberg Group, the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of Bethesda, Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, the Forest Society, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the Mystic Order of the Veiled Prophets of the Enchanted Realm, the United Order of the Golden Cross, the United Ancient Order of Druid National Reign, the Ancient Order of Hermannans. It's just a few, it's some more. It's just a few, it's some more. The Spanish Garduna, the Carbonari, the Black Hand. You say Mafia, that's Afro-Asiatic. You say Cosa Nostra, it's Latin. The Triad, the Yakuza, the Osirica. It's just a few, it's some more. And so, like I say, all these different, all that stuff, some man-made junk. The sorority and the fraternity, the old world secret society. Don't let the sorority and the fraternity mislead you. See, all that stuff about the old world secret society, see, that's the basis of the sorority and fraternity. When they be doing all them initiation rituals, the sorority and the fraternity, the old world secret society, that's where they getting those initiation rituals from those old world secret societies. Being initiated into the sorority and the fraternity, they get the rituals from the old world secret society. Some wannabe devil worshippers. Some wannabe devil worshippers. See, they go around listening to the Perizzites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Jebusites, the Girgasites, the Hittites, the Hivites, the Midianites, the Moabites, the Korhizites, and the Kazizites. There's some more. I can't name all of them. The Philistines, and so don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. The sorority and fraternity be on the college and university campus, and they commit crimes on and off the college and university campus. They use and abuse tobacco products, chewing tobacco, cigarettes, cigars. They put drugs in the cigarettes and cigars. They indulge in gambling and games of chance. They use and abuse alcohol and drugs. They indulge in immoral activities. I just did my Instagram, like I said on my Instagram video, any crime that's considered to be a crime in the United States of America and the United Nations, the sorority and fraternity, they commit those crimes. They indulge in sexual deviance and depravity. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. The sorority and fraternity, they work for these businesses, they work for these companies, they work for these corporations. The majority of them, they be the management, the assistant manager, what I'm talking about, they the management. Sometimes they might be the blue collar, white collar, the non-management. But the majority of the sorority fraternity, they be the management. They work for these businesses, they work for these companies, they work for these corporations. They use and they misuse the background check. They commit crimes against humanity, atrocities, violations of human and civil rights, inhumanity, genocide, ethnic cleansing, discrimination, harassment, all forms of discrimination and harassment, pollution of the air, ground, and water, and also noise pollution. They destroy the environment, they destroy nature, they destroy wildlife. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. Don't be misled. Now, this is the International Bill of Human Rights. And this is the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. And this is the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. And this is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. And this is the world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. And this is the International Federation for Human Rights. And this is the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. And this is Fauna and Flora International, was the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. And this is the world's oldest global environmental organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature, also the World Wildlife Fund. And And just like those organizations we just mentioned, there's some more organizations such as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Global Rights Frontline Defenders, Human Rights Without Frontiers, the International Center for Human Rights, Conservation International, Wildlife Conservation Society, Conservation Fund, Legal Conservation Voters, the Earthwise Institute for Service Association, the Earth Justice, the Conservation Volunteer, the Wildlife Conservation Network, Endangered Wildlife Trust, Biodiversity and Nature Conservancy Association, the Rare Species Conservation Center, the Wildlife Research and Conservation Trust, the Rainforest Trust, the International Rainforest Conservation Organization, Rainforest Alliance, Rainforest Action Network. Biodiversity International, Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Nature, Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy and Wildlife Conservation Society, Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, Oceanic Preservation Society, Oceanic Society, Global Ocean Commission, the International Marine Life Alliance. There are many more other organizations such as the one we just mentioned. Just like the one we just mentioned, they trying to stop all these crimes that the sorority and the fraternity, the old world secret society, they the basis of the sorority and fraternity. And the sorority and fraternity being influenced by them old world secret society, all the initiation rituals and devil worship. They commit all these crimes, such as crimes against humanity, atrocities, violations of human rights and civil rights, inhumanity, genocide and ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment. They pollute the air, the ground, and water, and also noise pollution. They destroy the environment, they destroy wildlife. Get out the sorority and fraternity. Don't join the sorority fraternity. Encourage others not to be involved with the sorority fraternity. Expose the sorority fraternity. Renounce all those who started the sorority fraternity. Denounce all those old world secret society, the sorority fraternity. Denounce. See, when we talk about the history is important. History is important. See, this is what these criminals try to get away with. The criminal street gang, criminal street organizations. See, there's no such thing as the East Coast being a gang base or a mob base. No such thing. See, it goes all the way back past before the 13 colonies. Before the 13 colonies. See, the people that came over, they came in contact with the first Americans, the Native Americans, who already lived here. The first American, Native Americans were already living here in this part of the world. And so the criminals, the pirates, they came over. See, that's why all that gang and mob and stir, that's why all they came from, some wannabe devil worship. See, and all that boss and goon and thug and crook and hooligan, Mac and player and pimp and whore and hustler and nigga, field nigga, house nigga. That way all that, see, it came from the criminals, the pirates. transporting slaves from sub-Saharan Africa. The East African, West African slave trade. You see, all that was wrong. It's all wrong. See, there's no such thing. The East Coast is not a gang base or mob base. There's no such thing riding around on a motorcycle. Talking about you in a gang and you're a mob. No such thing. The sorority and the fraternity be lying about the Constitution. Them same criminals, Chicago, Illinois. No such thing. Chicago, Illinois, not a gang base or a mob base. There's no such thing. That's a lie. It be the sorority and fraternity lying about the Constitution and about the Bible and all this. They lie about everything. They lie about any and everything. The city of Los Angeles, same thing. The city of Los Angeles, California is not a gang base or a mob base. There's no such thing. The city of Los Angeles is not a gang. But see, there's no such thing. There's no folk gang, my people gang in Chicago. There's no such thing. There's no blood gang, no Crip gang, no Stone gang in Los Angeles County. No such thing. It was them criminals. And see, it goes all the way back to them criminals. That's where you be getting that mess from. That's a lie. I did my Instagram video. I forgot to. There you go. And this is a list of place names of Native American origin in the United States. You know, like state names, then you have districts and regions, then you have cities, counties. Then you have the area you breathe. You have rivers, lakes, brooks, streams, trees, grass, so on and so forth. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Connecticut, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, North and South Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Wisconsin, Wyoming. Then I'm going to scroll down where it says see also. And then you see the list of place names of indigenous origin in the Americas. And as you can see, that's the wrong that's been done, that has been done, and is being done by the sorority and the fraternity, them old world secret society. Because see, when we talk about them pirates, see them old world secret society, see, it's not just people that came from Europe. See, let's make this clear. See, you just don't put blame on a group of people. See, it's that ideology, that so-called wannabe devil worship. See, the devil has deceived all. Let's just say this in general. The general public deceived by the devil. Now, each individual, we can read the Bible to try to, protect and defend ourselves, to strengthen ourselves from the influence of the devil. The devil is trying to influence each and every one of us. The devil is trying to influence each and every one of us. So don't get all offended and all that. That's not what we're doing. See, that's not what's being said. It's about the devil. The devil worship. Doing in the past, there was a lot of people who were deceived by the devil. There was a lot of people who were deceived by the devil. And they did a lot of wicked and evil things because of the influence of the devil. Them pirates, they human beings just like all of us. But the influence of the devil was very strong. The influence of the devil was very strong. And it's still strong today. But there are a lot of people who stood up against the influence of the devil. The 11 apostles. First of all, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. He is punishing the devil. See, the devil being punished by God, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. The devil and his angels being punished by Jesus Christ, the Son of God. And all of us are subject to be punished by God, Jesus Christ, for being disobedient, for being defiant. You don't worship the devil. The Constitution don't have that type of influence. Jesus Christ said the devil being influenced. Being punished. Being punished. The devil being and his angels being punished by Jesus Christ, Son of God. You don't worship the devil. You don't worship the devil. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. There's no such thing in worshiping the devil and his angels. Because the devil and his angels being punished. And all those who offend, all that offend, you understand? And do iniquity, being punished. Jesus Christ, John the Baptist told you that there was one mightier than I, whose shoelatches I'm not even worthy to tie. But he said that Jesus Christ gonna burn up the chaff, but the wheat will be put in his barn. See, Jesus Christ told you, he's not gonna put up with it. There's no such thing worse than the devil. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. So get that thought out your mind that so-called street gang and all that criminal street oil like that's right. Talking about some Constitution. Irregardless what the Constitution, I'm gonna tell you something. The Constitution might tell you that you got freedom of expression. That don't mean you go out and unzip your pants and expose yourself in front of everybody. See, it's something that they always say about rights. Yeah, true enough, people have rights. But there's also a thing about being responsible and accountable with your rights. It's a thing about being accountable and being responsible. See, having rights don't mean that you got the right to go out and talking about you got freedom of speech, but they don't give you the right to call me no racial slurs and go around making threats because you got freedom of speech. See, freedom of expression don't give you the right. You claim you got talking about some nudist colony. But see, the law even put restrictions on a nudist colony. So you have rights, but you have to be responsible. You have to be accountable. You got the right to get a driver's license. That don't mean you got the right to go run over nobody with your car. And to drink and drive. You got the right to get a driver's license. But then, like I said, you don't give you the right to go get drunk and then get behind the wheel. See? You got the right to own a firearm to defend yourself. The Constitution of the United States Constitution says you got the right to bear arms. You got the right to defend yourself. But when you be in a court of law, There's a whole lot of people in prison right today about that same thing, about defending themselves. Because what you said was the self-defense. It wasn't self-defense. They have a lot of controversy. There was a court case down in Florida recently. I think it was last year. There was a white man shot a black man. They got some law, with the law they've been having a lot of controversy. Stand your ground or something like that down in Florida. And it's in most states, not just the state of Florida. You got the right to bear arms. You got the right to defend yourself, but there's a lot of controversy behind it. See, with rights comes accountability and responsibility. See, it's a lot of people that be going around talking about the Constitution. They be lying. See, it's not supposed to be nobody walking around talking about they know street gang. That's a lie. Nobody's supposed to be doing that. And just like you got this Bible, you know, just like the Bible, you have freedom of religion. Yeah, you have freedom of religion. But freedom of religion, with this Bible, they don't give you the right to take words out of the Bible and call it the Pentecostal church. See, that's the issue. You don't have that right. You don't have that right to lie. Matter of fact, as far as I'm concerned, this is sacred. You don't have no right to touch this Bible. You don't have this right to touch this Bible. It's just like the Ten Commandments. God gave the Ten Commandments to the children of Israel, not to the Jew. It's sacred. Ain't no such thing, no Jew. God never said that in the 5 books of Moses or anywhere else about no Jew. Never said. You can find the word saint, but you don't find the word Jew. In the Old Testament, in the 5 books of Moses. And you know who said it? It was God who said saint. So tell that to the Jew and Jude. And who was God talking about? He was talking about the children of Israel. And you hear God say, no, I want about no Jew and no Jude. See, freedom of religion. See, you go into the court of law, the judge, the public defender, the prosecuting attorney. Ain't no such thing. No Jew and Jew have no freedom of religion. Because first of all, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as no Baptist church, no Southern Baptist Convention, no National Baptist Convention. Ain't no such thing as freedom of religion. The church that our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, established, that's freedom of religion. You going to jail. See, just because they ain't been putting people in jail, that don't mean that is right. You going to jail. That's the reason why I'm gonna push the issue. See, the only reason why you still on the street, because I knew it was some people in the sorority and fraternity, the alumni, that you were gonna depend on to help you. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my time, be patient. When they put Al Sharpton in jail, he ain't going to jail by himself. The people over there at the National Action Network, they going to jail with you. The NAACP, Urban League, people start talking. I started hearing stuff. I started hearing people's names. You're going to jail. See, that's the real reason. That's one way. I'm taking my time, be patient. Because they're going to start naming names. Al Sharpton going to get down there to the police station. He's going to start naming names. Only thing detective got to do, just sit there with a pen and pad. Just sit there. He'll start talking. And you're going to start hearing all this stuff. You're going to start hearing this name, that name. You're going to start hearing names. And when you start bringing them in, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be like a chain reaction. When they bring Jesse Jackson in, just sit there. Just sit there. Just sit there with a pen and pad. Who you say? Just start writing them down. You're going to start talking. And when they bring them in, you're going to start talking. We don't start talking. You see, Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, is a liar, a murderer, the devil. See, you don't have that right. See, freedom of religion. You don't have the right to lie. You don't have that right to lie. The Catholic Church. You know, the Catholic Church, all their particular churches. Organized crime. Some wannabe devil worship. The Latin Rite, the Alexandrian Rite, the Armenian Rite, the Byzantine Rite, the East Syrian Rite, the West Syrian Rite. Then you had the Protestant Reformation Movement Church in 95 Theses. It's still the Catholic Church. It's the Catholic Church. You have major branches. You have minor branches. You have interdenominational movement. You have other development. You have related movement. And then you have the American Restoration Movement, the Stone Campbell Movement churches. And the Churches of Christ, Unaffiliated Christian Church, Church of Christ, Congregated Christian Church, Disciples of Christ. There's no such thing. There's no such thing, no American Restoration, no Stone Campbell Movement. Talking about they trying to go back to the first century. When you know they talking about Saint Ignatius of Antioch and all them Christians. Saint Ignatius of Antioch wrote several letters. One of the letters he wrote to the Smyrnaeans. And in that letter, he wrote the phrase, Catholic Church. And after that, in front of 50,000 plus fans at the Roman Colosseum, Saint Ignatius of Antioch was eaten alive by one or more lions. But excuse me. And then you had these groups, you know, like what's his name? David Koresh, Jim Jones, you know, for example, people like that. Scientology, Aaron Hubbard, the Mormons, and then you have the Zoroastrians, Zoroaster, Islam, Prophet Muhammad, you know, the Sunni Muslim. Then you have Prophet Ali, the Shiite Muslim. You have the Baha'i, they had a prophet. The Sikhs, you know, they had a prophet, he wrote a book. And then you have like the Moorish Science Temple, the Nation of Islam, the 5% Nation, the American Muslim Society, the New Black Panther Party, you know, Khalid Muhammad, New Black Panther Party. Then you have all these various black Hebrew Israelite groups, for example, Ben Ami, and the Rastafarian movement, you know, and all these Pan-Africans now, you know, where it came down from Chicago and all that, you know, the black Hebrew Israelite gonna go on the run. I mean, I anticipated that, you know. And the Rastafarians, I knew that. I just knew that the Rastafarian movement, because they were down there in the Caribbean, some of them down here in the United States, so I just knew, you know, that they were going to run. And, you know, the K9 unit be ready. And and see, I know I'm telling you, you try to be aggressive. You try to be aggressive with the K9 unit. See, I'm gonna have some bag up. So some backup. See, now when the police officers call for backup, they got some more police to bag them up. But see, the K9 unit gotta have some backup too, cause see they be kicking and scratching and jumping out the car and going on a run, then jumped over the fence and then tried to kick the dog. Well, gonna have some backup. See, you ain't gonna be kicking it. So I'm gonna go over there to the humane side and get some puppies and train them. Ain't gonna have some backup. Cause you ain't gonna kick my dog. No, you ain't gonna kick mine. No. I'm gonna have some backup in another car. Some more dogs. And when you try to be aggressive, they gonna be scrubbed down. And when I tell them to go, here they come. Here they come. to bag up the other dog. See, you ain't count on that. And they're a little bit rough. See, they're the German Shepherd. These dogs here, boy, when they come at you, I'm gonna have to move the German Shepherd out the way. You gotta get out the way, cause they got tunnel vision. You know, once they get locked in on the target, I gotta get them out the way and just let them come at you. And when they come at you, boy, it really ain't no pulling them off, cause sometimes they get stupid. They get confused. Like I said, they get tunnel vision. Trying to pull them off there, they don't let go. They don't let go. And they'll just bite you and they will not let go. They'll lock on you and they don't let go. So when I try to pull them off you, they line to pull your arm, your leg off, might come out with it. But see, I mean, you know, you try to be aggressive. You know, you tried to hurt one of the dogs and I had to go call for backup for him. That's the way I look at it. I don't, you know, because see, the police officers, you know, they got bag up. The dog should have some bag up. The dog should have some bag up. Sure, you want to be aggressive, you jumping out of cars and then had the nerve to pull a knife out and a gun and start shooting at the K9 unit. The dog got a bulletproof vest on, I mean, but still. You know, he got to have some backup too. And then, you know, we have a new feline unit. You know, the cats down there, they standing up for their rights. You know, so there ain't gonna be a feline unit. I mean, you know, we'll find something for them to do. You know, for them. You know, and they gonna have some backup too. They gonna have some backup too. You know, but you can't be aggressive with the canine unit and with the feline unit trying to go on a run. You know, and you know, but Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, is a liar, is a murderer, is a devil. You see these man-made religions, and they say they be using those epistles that he wrote. And those epistles that he wrote, he called himself an apostle. He's not no apostle. And one of the verses that they use, Romans chapter 16, verse 6, salute one another with the holy kiss, the church, with the suffix E, churches of Christ salute you. Second Thessalonians, another verse they use, Second Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 4. So we ourselves glory in you in the church with the suffix ye, churches of God, for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulation that ye endure. Now this is a list of occult terms from A to Z. And this is a list of occult symbols. And this is world religions and occult symbols. And this is occult symbols. And see, all that we just see, the sorority and the fraternity. The sorority and them old world secret society that Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul. See, he from that part of the world that we continue to talk about, them pirates. He from Tarsus, Cilicia, and what they call today Turkey. See, that part of the world, but see, in ancient times, in ancient times, they were trying to use that part of the world as a base. You know what I'm saying? As a base. Not saying that the people in Turkey, but at that period of time, it was being used as a base for these criminals, the East African, West African slave trade, the transporters, the wannabe devil worshippers. You see, they were listening to them people who had been deceived by the devil, the Perizzites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgasites, the Jebusites, the Hittites, the Hivites, the Midianites, the Moabites, the Kazizites, the Kahorzites, all them ites, and the Philistines and all them, See, you don't let the sorority and the fraternity mislead you, because see, the sorority and fraternity, the basis of the sorority, them old world secret societies. Them old world secret societies from the old world. And they be lying. They be lying. So don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. There's no such thing as the East Coast being a gang base or a mob base. No such thing. And be the sorority and fraternity line. Chicago, Illinois is not a gang base or mob base. They be the same criminals, sorority and fraternity line. No such thing, no folk gang, no mafia gang. No such thing riding around on motorcycle. No such thing. Los Angeles, California, no such thing, no blood gang, no crip gang, no stone gang, no such thing. You be lying. You be lying. Now, the United States of America, like all nations around the world, enact laws that are intended to make all of us safe from organized crime, devil, the wannabe devil worship. And one of the laws that the United States government enacted, the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970, and Title IX of the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970, the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, the RICO Act, is anti-gang. And then you have the Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act of 1970, the Controlled Substance Act, the Psychotropic Substances Act, the Continuing Criminal Enterprise Statute, the Kingpin Statute, is all anti-gang. The Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act of 1974 established the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, as well as other related legislation, is anti-gang. The Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, and the Comprehensive Gang Model, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the Bureau of Justice Assist, the Office of Justice Program, the United States Department of Justice. And then you have the Office of Juvenile, the Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assist, the United States Department of Justice, the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Project Safe Neighborhoods, and the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Community-Oriented Police Service, the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, the United States Department of State, the Institute for Intergovernmental Affairs, Gang Resistance, Education and Training, the GREAT Program. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, in October 2009, the National Youth Gang Center, which has been funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention since 1995, merged with the National Gang Center, which have been funded by the Bureau of Justice since 2003. The National Gang Center, the compilation of state laws against gangs, the Gang Prevention and Overview of Research Program, Mr. James Howe, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. The United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assist, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, National Gang Center Bulletin, History of Street Gangs in the United States. There are books in the bulletin to refer to. Read the books in the bulletin. And then you have, you can go to the quick reference, Wikipedia. You can find the same information title gangs in the United States. The United States Department of Justice, the officers of the United States Attorney Man 1457, the Criminal Street Gang Statute 18, United States Code 521, the United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, National Gang Intelligence Center, the United States Department of Justice, the Organized Crime and Gang Section. Then you have other federal, state, and local agencies. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, Anti-Gang Strategies, Prevention, Intervention, Assessment, and Suppression. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, Changing Course, Preventing Gang Membership, and also striving to reduce youth violence everywhere. The United States Department of Justice, the United States Department of Education, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, the United States Department of Labor, and the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, National Forum, Youth Violence Prevention Forum. You can go to youth.gov, be informed about the National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention, as well as the comprehensive national anti-gang, the comprehensive anti-gang initiative, and comprehensive gang model, and also the United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, National Crime Prevention Council, keeping kids out of gangs, and also the Department of Justice, anti-hazing. You can go to lawyers.com and be informed about anti-hazing. So let me see here. I'm trying to get my time right, so when I end this video, then I'm gonna start another video. Get my time right. Okay. Because based on my recording, it's just not 2 hours on the recording. I'm looking at time, so what time was when I started recording? It was right at about 1:50. It was before 2 o'clock when I started recording. Okay. And that'll be 3 hours. Around about 4:45. That'll be 3 hours then. Right. Okay. Around about 4:45. That'll be right at 3 hours. That'll be 3 hours. Then I start another one. Then it'll be like from 4:45, 5:55, 5:55, 6:55. That'll be 2 hours. So one first video it should be about 3 hours. First video, then the second video will be about 2 hours. Alright, so let's get to our Bible reading. Where I love to get to. The birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, and also all those who watch my video. You can go to BibleStudyTube.com to follow along. You can go to BibleGateway.com to follow along. The birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God. Matthew chapter 1 verses 18 through 25. Matthew chapter 2 verses 1 through 23. Luke chapter 1 verse 1 through 80. And Luke chapter 2 verse 1 through 52. The Lord's Supper. Matthew chapter 26 verses 26 through 29. Mark chapter 14 verses 22 through 25. And Luke chapter 22 verses 15 through 22. The Lord's Prayer. Matthew chapter 6 verses 9 through 13. Luke chapter 11 verses 2 through 4. The Beatitudes. Read the Beatitudes. Matthew chapters 5, 6, and 7. Also Luke chapter 6 verses 20 through 49. When it comes to John the Baptist, Matthew chapter 3 verses 1 through 17. Emphasize verses 11 through 17. Mark chapter 1 verses 1 through 11. Emphasize verses 7 through 11. Luke chapter 3 verses 1 through 22, emphasize verses 16 through 22, and John chapter 1, verses 15 through 34, emphasize verses 26 through 34. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, teaching in the synagogue, Matthew chapter 4, verse 23, Mark chapter 1, verse 21, Luke chapter 4, verse 15, John chapter 6, verse 59. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, he begins his ministry, Matthew chapter 4, verse 12 through 25, emphasize verses 23 through 25, Mark chapter 1, verses 14 through 45, emphasize verses 14, 39 through 45, Luke chapter 4, verses 14 through 44, emphasize verse 15, 43, and 44, and John chapter 1, verses 35 through 51. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, he chose 12 disciples. Matthew chapter 10, verses 1 through 42. Mark chapter 3, verses 13 through 35. Luke chapter 6, verses 13 through 49. And John chapter 6, verses 59 through 71. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, he established the one church. The one church. It's the only one church. Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 through 19. And Matthew chapter 18, verses 15 through 20. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, he gives his apostle commission. Matthew chapter 28, verses 16 through 20. Mark chapter 16, verses 14 through 20. Luke chapter 24, verses 44 through 49. And John chapter 21. The death, burial, and resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God. Matthew chapter 26, verses 1 through 75. Matthew chapter 27, verses 1 through 66. Emphasize verse 50. Joseph of Arimathea, a disciple of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, took his body down from the cross. Verses 57 through 60. Matthew chapter 28, verses 1 through 20. Emphasize verses 16 through 20. Mark chapter 14, verses 1 through 72. Mark chapter 15, verse 1 through 47. Emphasize verse 37. Joseph of Arimathea, a disciple of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, took his body down from the cross. And also verses 43 through 47. Mark chapter 16, verses 1 through 20. Emphasize verses 14 through 20. Luke chapter 22, verses 1 through 71. Luke chapter 23, verses 1 through 56. Emphasize verse 46. Joseph of Arimathea, a disciple of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, he took his body down from the cross. And also verses 50 through 56. And Luke chapter 24, verses 1 through 53. Emphasize verses 44 through 53. John chapter 17, verses 1 through 26. John chapter 18, verses 1 through 40. John chapter 19, verses 1 through 42. Emphasize verse 30. Joseph of Arimathea, a disciple of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, took his body down from the cross. And also verses 38 through 42. John chapter 20, verses 1 through 31. And also John chapter 21, verses 1 through 25. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, gives his apostle commission. Matthew chapter 28, verses 16 through 20. Mark chapter 16, verses 14 through 20. Luke chapter 24, verses 44 through 49. John chapter 21. based on those verses that we just, shown. See, all these man-made religious organizations, you be lying, including the street gang. So you be lying. See, it ain't, when you read God's word, see, what did John the Baptist tell you about Jesus Christ? He said, there's one that's coming after me that's mightier than I. And what did he say? He said that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, gonna burn up the chaff, but he gonna put his wheat in the barn. See, don't lie. Don't lie like it's something you're gonna get away with. Don't lie. Don't lie, because you be lying. You be lying. Let's go to the Bible and get our reading in. See, that what the Church of Christ is. It's a lie. You be lying. Now let's turn to the book of Matthew. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 3. See, that's what I was talking about, having a strong foundation. A strong foundation to build on. Strong foundation. Go to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 3. Starting in verse 1, we're going to read the whole chapter. In those days came John the Baptist, preaching in the wilderness of Judea, and saying, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For this is he that was spoken of by the prophet Isaiah, saying, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make his path straight. And the same John had his raiment of camel's hair, and a lantern girded about his loins, and his meat was locusts and wild honey. Then went out to him Jerusalem and all Judea and all the region round about Jordan, and were baptized in him in Jordan, confessing their sin. But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance, and think not to say within yourself, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that God is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the tree. Pay attention. Pay attention now. Therefore every tree will bring up not forth good fruits, hewn down and cast into the fire. I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance, but he that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall baptize you with the Holy Ghost and with fire, whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor. Listen now, I'm telling you, don't lie. Don't lie. Whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor and gather his wheat into the garner. But he will burn up the chaff with unquenchable fire. See, don't lie. Don't lie. Then cometh Jesus from Galilee to Jordan unto John to be baptized in him. But John forbade him, saying, I have need to be baptized of thee, and comest thou to me? And Jesus answered and said unto him, suffer it to be so now. For thus it becometh us to fulfill our righteousness. Then he suffered him. And Jesus, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water, and lo, the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the Spirit of God descend like a dove and lighted upon him. And lo, a voice from heaven saying, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Now, chapter 4. Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward a hunger. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Now pay attention. The devil quoting verses out of God's word. Then the devil taking him up into the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hand they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Jesus said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Again the devil taking him into an exceeding high mountain, and shewed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and said unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then said Jesus unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, him only shalt thou serve. Then the devil leaving him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. Now, when Jesus had heard that John was cast into prison, he departed to Galilee, leaving Nazareth. He came and dwelt in Capernaum, which is upon the sea coast, in the borders of Zebulun and Nephtali, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, The land of Zebulun and the land of Nephtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. The people which sat in darkness saw great light, and to them which sat in their region and shadow of death, light sprung up. From that time Jesus began to preach. From that time Jesus began to preach and to say, Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You gotta have a strong foundation to build on. And Jesus, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw two brethren, Simon called Peter and Andrew his brother, casting their net into the sea, for they were fishing. And he said unto them, Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And they straightway left their nets and followed him. And going on from thence, he saw other two brethren, James the son of Zebedee, and John his brother, in the ship with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets. And he called them. And they immediately left the ship and their father and followed him. And Jesus went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogue and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. And his fame went throughout all Syria. And he brought unto him all sick people that were taken with divers diseases and torments, and those which were possessed with devils, and those which were lunatic, and those that had the palsy, and he healed them. And there followed him great multitudes of people from Galilee, and from Decapolis, and from Jerusalem, and from Judea, and from beyond Jordan. Now, then you have the Beatitudes, Matthew 5, 6, and 7. But we're going to continue our reading. So let's continue our reading. Let's go to the book of Matthew. Slide. Now, we're in Matthew chapter 16. Matthew chapter 16. The one church. The one church. See, a whole world. We have a government. We have a executive branch, legislative branch, judicial branch. Okay. Now, in the courtroom, you have a judge, you have a public defender, you have a prosecuting attorney. See, just like we just got through reading Matthew chapter 3 and 4. And you heard what John the Baptist said. John the Baptist said, one coming after me that's mightier than I, whose shoes I'm not even ready to bear. And saying that Jesus is gonna burn up the chaff and gonna put the wheat in the garden. Don't lie. See, you don't lie. See, Jesus telling you right there, ain't no such thing, no devil worship. How you gonna accuse Jesus of letting you get away being a devil worshiper? John the Baptist just told you, I'm John the Baptist. There's one coming that's mightier than I, who is going to burn up the chaff. Gonna burn the chaff up, but the wheat he gonna put in the garner. So let's read Matthew chapter 16. See, at the United Nations, they have all these. They have a Security Council, and then they have the United Nations General Assembly. And then you have an International Criminal Court, criminal charge, and then civil charge. As if you're not committing a crime. It is a crime. That is the crime. And that you tried to lie. And that you lied. And based on that lie, you committed some violent crimes. But you made it sound like if I can just get away with telling other people a lie, if I can lie and get away with it, but you ain't get away with it, you're going to jail. Now, like I told you, you're going to run. We're in Matthew chapter 16. We're going to read verses 13 through 19. Now we're in Matthew chapter 16, verses, we're going to read verses 13 through 19, and it reads, when Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, some said that thou art John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. He said unto them, but whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered and said unto him, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto you, unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Now we're in chapter 18, Matthew chapter 18, and we're going to read verses 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. There's only one church. Only one church. Moreover, if thy brother should trespass against thee, read that again. Moreover, if thy brother should trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not bear thee, hear thee, then take with thee one or two more. That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell them to the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Again I say unto you, that if 2 of you shall agree on earth that touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Now we're going to continue our reading. We're in Matthew chapter 28, and we're going to read verses 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now we're in Matthew chapter 28. We're going to read verses 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And it reads, Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, into a mount where Jesus had appointed them. So they took the memory and did as they were taught. And this saying is commonly reported among the Jews until this day. Okay. Now let's read. Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, into a mountain where Jesus had appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Jesus came and spake unto them, saying, All power is given unto me. In heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and preach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you, and lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Amen. Now, we're going to continue our reading. Matthew chapter 13. Matthew chapter 13. Verses 1 through 58. And it reads, The same day went Jesus out of the house and sat by the sea side. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Blessed, behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds And when he saw some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls come and divide them up. So some fell upon stony places where they had no root, much earth, and they had no deepness of earth. And when some fell upon stony places where they had no much earth, and they had no openness of faith. And when the sun was up, then was scorched, and because they had no food, they withered away. And I saw evil among And when the sun was up, then was scorched. And because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among and the thorns. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others fell into good ground and thought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 100-fold. Who have ears to hear, let them hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but in root yet hath he not root in himself, do it for a while. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. But he that receives seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in the word. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. But when the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man with whose But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the house it says, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, that appeared, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came he also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth but he that receives seed unto the ground, to the good ground, is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth. But he that receives seed he also that receives seed and which also beareth fruit and another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in 34? So he said unto them, an enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, we will bring there would thou go. He said unto them, an enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, without then that we go and gather them up. But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, He root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together and the harvest. And in time, but gather them up into a barn. And another parable not. Which a man took and sowed in the field when indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, another parable spake he unto them, the kingdom of heaven is like unto heaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of wheat. All these things spake Jesus unto the multitude in parable, and without parable spake he that understand. Then it might be filled with said, all these things spake Jesus unto the multitude of parables, and without a parable spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parable, I will utter things which Then Jesus sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He has sowed the good, and sowed the enemy. Then Jesus sent the multitude away. He answered, Then Jesus sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable, tares of the field. Then Jesus sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us He answered and said unto them, He that sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the enemy of the wicked one. The enemy that sold them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. And therefore the harvest are gathered and burned in the floor, so shall it be now. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels that offend and them which do iniquity. It said cast them in a calf. It shall cast them into a furnace of fire, there shall be burning. Then shall the righteous shine. Then shall the righteous on the Burger King. Then shall the righteous again the treasure, again the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in the field, the which when a man hath found, he hideth it for joy. Observe, going and sinning all day he do. Again, the kingdom of heaven is when he had found it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every nation, of every kind, which, when it was full, they drew to shore, and sat down and gathered the good, and so shall it be at the end of the world. Which, when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels by, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth, to sever the wicked Then said he unto them, 34. When Jesus had finished these parables, he departed them. And when he had come in, It's not this the carpenter's son. It's not this. Mary. And his sisters, are they full of? Now let's go to Matthew chapter 25. Oh. Like I said, I'm going to end this video, and it's going to be dated 5/19/2019, part 1.